no touchdowns, and Dak Prescott had just over 200 yards and a pick. And after the game, Jerry Jones expressed some major frustration with his team. Fox NFL analyst James Harrison with us this morning.
Here we go.
You've played in these conditions. You know this place well. James, your biggest takeaway from the Patriots win over the Cowboys?
My biggest takeaway would be, I hate to say it, but I think they need to get a new coach. He has a loser's mentality.
Yep. I hear you, and I agree.
You go back to the situation with the special teams, the kickoffs. At what point in time do you not tell your player, hey, move up? It's not going to get all the way there.
Right.
Even the punt where they took, I think it was multiple penalties.
Right.
It was, 10 or 15 yards worth of penalties where they actually ended up kicking a field goal and getting points from that. And then the biggest thing for me is after the game, his explanation for doing it, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe he's thinking, I need 3 points to win anyway. I'm going to kick the 3 here. But when he's asked the question, his explanation is, basically you're saying when my defense get in there and they go down there and give up 3 points, I'm still within 7 points to win this game,
he
to tie this game.
He did it
right
in the negative.
So
Like
the way that you explained that to me lets me know you have a loser's mentality and you're not trying to win. It's 4th and 7. I haven't been down here that much. Let me go now and get these points. And then, you know what? Let's think about going for 2 to end it right here and now. I think they need to change their head coach and get somebody in there that is not afraid to win.
Well, you don't get a whole lot of debate for that. But for me, I don't blame a whole lot on Jason Garrett because nobody gives them credit when they win. It's always they win in spite of, or this or Dak did something unbelievable.
Goes along for the ride.
Yeah, that's your first. Yeah, he's along for the ride. But Jerry Jerry's been around this game long enough, Skip. Talent doesn't always win you the game. There's a lot of teams. There are a lot of talented teams. Everybody in the NFL is talented. You don't get to this level without being talented. The Cowboys have accumulated a lot of talent. But you tell me that they play like when they take the field, that they play like the best offense, the best defense, the best special teams, they play like the best team on a given Sunday? No. Now, if they play the Dolphins, they're going to mop the floor with the Dolphins. Or Washington, or the Giants, They mop the floor. But when you get a team that's comparable to them, that's well-schooled, well-disciplined, they always lose. But for me, Jerry Jones, if you had it in your mind at the combine when he first made that statement that he wasn't going to give him a contract extension, Skip, he should have went and got him a new coach. He'd already laid in the groundwork.
He was. I agree.
And he put that out there. And so Jason, he's Jason Garrett. He only knows one way to coach because he's only coached up under this system. And under this system, you stand on the sideline and you clap. Jerry decides who plays when they play. Jerry decides who comes when they come. And so if you're a coach and you're not empowered to do what you were hired to do, which is coach, why do I got to take all the blame when things go bad? But when things go good, you see what Jerry gave him. You see how Dak played. You see how the defense played. He never gets any credit. The man won Coach of the Year, 3 years ago, Skip? Man, he won that because you look at the team that he's got. Nothing about the coaching job he's had. So he's in an unwinnable situation. But with this kind of talent, man, if you take Coach Belichick with this team right here today, they would win 3 or 4 of the next 6, 7 Super Bowls with this same team that Jason Garrett's barely scraping by to make the playoffs.
You could be right unless Jerry Jones undermined Bill Belichick. So, I mean, he might just blow it all up.
Yeah, you might be right.
Okay. So James Harrison knows what I'm talking about because you did spend the end of your final year in this locker room and in this culture. My biggest takeaway from last night's game, when I sat back when it was over, it felt like one team had a winning culture and the other had a losing culture because it was going to come down to the smallest little plays were going to decide the difference in a 13-9 game. And you know how buttoned up New England is. You know when you walked in that locker room, not that you weren't in a great one with the Steelers, same idea, but this might even be a little step up from the Steelers, where you walked in and you just felt like this is serious business.
Expectations.
This is as professional as you can get.
It wasn't a field. Like when you walked in there, like the first practice, I'm thinking, It's the middle of December.
Yep.
You know, we might get some dome time or something. It's like -10 and we're outside. We went into the dome one day, and that's because it was a blizzard and you could not see 5 feet in front of your face. And he was upset about that. Okay. I mean, literally upset.
There you go.
And it toughens you up, especially for the games. You know, we're sitting there, I think we're playing Jacksonville. And I'm sitting on the sideline, and it's like -3 or 4, and I'm just sweating bullets because all week in practice, I ain't had this heated bench. I ain't had these blowers. We out there in the middle of it. We couldn't practice on the field because it was froze. So he went into the turf on the indoor, and we practiced on the game field. That's just what they do, and it's something that actually benefits you when it comes that time. And that's another thing, like the coaching. You have to prepare your players or get your players prepared to play in adverse weather and adverse conditions. You're in Dallas. Give him something to mimic anything. Make the ball
Outside,
nasty and wet.
Wet the ball down.
Do something.
Put it in the freezer, Skip, because Skip, you know what the weather's going to be. So, and that's how Mike was. We were not going. Man, it'd be cold, Skippy. You know it gets windy, it gets cold in Denver. We weren't going to that we weren't going to that dome.
Yeah.
It's like, what happens if it's like this on Sunday? And we practice in the dome, and nice temperature, you know, nice 60 degrees, and then we come outside and it's 25 and it's snowing or the wind's blowing. What are you going to do then?
Yeah. And on Fox yesterday during halftime, Rob Gronkowski made the point, probably slightly exaggerated, that Jerry's like, oh, it's cold outside. Let's go in the dome. You know, like, let's go in the dome, right? Or let's go practice on the yacht, right?
Yeah,
let's go practice. We got a big practice field on the yacht, right?
No, we're not.
Okay.
If you play outside, that's the advantage that playing outside provides you, Skip, is that your games, I mean, the Cowboys, they get turf, they get home games, but you have to practice on the dome. You're not going outside. I don't know if they practice outside, but they should have been outside.
This man was so dedicated. We played the Super Bowl, right? That's a dome.
Yeah.
The week before, we know we're going to a Super Bowl. It's a dome. We're still outside in the cold.
Really?
Not until we got
seems
into Minnesota
backwards.
did we get into a dome.
And then my biggest regret and disappointment about this game was what happened to number 19 for the Dallas Cowboys. Amari Cooper, ranked by Pro Football Focus the best overall receiver, graded #1 going into this game, and Stephon Gilmore took him out of the game. And it's about mental and physical toughness.
He hurt, Skip.
Yeah. Well, you think he just hurt?
He hurt.
I mean, Dak got to
been
get him
hurt
the
all
ball,
year.
too. I mean, it was a couple situations where he was open. You got a situation where Dak is consistently inconsistent at times, and he is not throwing the ball on time.
He hadn't been
you
all
throw the
year.
ball on time and you throw it accurately, those balls are caught. That's not an interception. Why would you even, make that or attempt to make that?
Okay,
throw?
remember the snap is up over his head and he bobs it up, and then you lose track of your receivers, and then you got to find him again, and you think, I'm going to sidearm this.
Judgment comes into play.
I know, but I got it. But listen, that guy trailing him on that play, he wasn't trailing him. He was actually in command of that play.
He knew the route.
It's tough to be injured, Skip, and to go out there and you're going to get their best. They're going to put their best cover guy on you. And I've been in that situation in Amari, and man, you just like, man, this would be so much different if I was 100%. I just pray that I could just get you when I was.
Saying stop. Nobody's 100% after the first.
No, but I'm saying there's varying degrees.
No question.
But Amari, Skip, that's not. I mean, and we've seen his numbers keep. I mean, it was 4, and now it was 3, and now it's none. And so they just hoping that they can get through this week where he gets 10 days off.
Yeah.
Can he make it through Buffalo?
Every road game this year, especially when it gets a little colder, Amari disappears. I don't know.
I mean, it's not like it's Alabama is not Miami. I mean, it does get cold in there. It does get cold in Alabama.
No, I got it.
New England.
No. You got to practice in that.
Yeah.
I mean, I came from South Georgia, going to Denver, Colorado, and practicing outside. You get used to that real quick when you practicing in it 5 days, 3-4 days a week, and then playing games in it. You kind of get used to it. But when you Mari, they're practicing on the dome, Skip.
But I agree about Coach Clapp, Jason Garrett, in that he didn't change expressions one time yesterday.
It was cold.
They commit
Face froze.
the back-to-back penalties on a punt because they get buffaloed because they don't put anybody back.
Right.
And they're like, what do we do? What do we do? And the clock runs out. And then that unit comes to the sideline, and Coach Clapp's over there. He's just clapping. He's patting guys on the butt. Come on.
But James,
what are you doing?
But James, you and I both been on punt team. You don't see anybody back. They're telling you they got a punt block. You bring anybody, tighten it down.
Okay.
That's what you do. You
I know,
tighten
but
it
they're all
down.
looking at the sideline like, what do we do?
One step. because they're coming. We can't hold them. Hey, we can't hold them forever. They got more than we can block because they don't have a returner back.
Okay.
And the punter, which would be a blocker, he's punting the ball. So now you get one step. We're going to tighten it down, one step to get it out of there.
Have you not one time practiced against that kind of formation? One time?
We practice, well, I mean, our special, we practice against some of everything.
You have to. All right.
And who's the guy? You find Matthew Slater.
How do you not block him?
That's the guy. You find him. You don't let him get on an edge.
Yes.
You take him right down.
He's arguably the greatest special teams player in the history of this league.
Yes.
Right?
You don't let that guy
Not
go.
a time that I haven't heard his name called while I was playing.
Yep.
You don't let the guy get on an edge.
Come on.
If a guy gets on an edge or you on punt, oh, he gonna bend it because he good at it. And you see what he did?
Okay.
Doo-doo. You hear that double thud?
Yes. Money.
James, appreciate you being here, your insight. Good point about playing to lose versus playing to win. So we're going to stick talking about the Cowboys. Maybe they made a mistake. More coaching, decisions, not feeding Zeke more yesterday. That is next.